everybody. Welcome back to the Tipsy Ghosts. We are your tipsy hosts, Sarah, and Lindsay.
Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
I have a fun fact.
Always, yes.
Love
I
fun
love these.
facts.
These?
Can't wait. Fun
I'm
facts.
waiting anxiously.
I love facts.
Oh, okay. Did you know that 63 Earths can fit inside Uranus?
That's what she said.
But really, I think it's an actual fact. That's also fun.
That
Uranus, the planet.
Yeah, thank you.
in case you needed clarifying.
Uranus, if it makes you feel more comfortable.
Wow.
My kid did ask, he watched some movie. It's a kid's movie, and they made a joke about Uranus or something. Like, they were talking about the planet, and the kids laughed on the movie. And he goes, "Why are people laughing about the planet Uranus?" And I was like,
I don't know. I didn't catch the joke.
I'm sure you'll figure it
he
out
goes, "Why
someday.
is that a funny word?" And I was like, let's watch something different. I was like, I don't know how to explain this. I don't feel like I'm ready to explain that anus is another word for butt, because already the word butt is hilarious.
It's butthole.
Hole, specifically?
Butthole, yeah. Okay, they think it's funny to call people butt face. So
Anus face.
Hilarious.
can confirm.
I do enjoy that.
Butt face is hilarious. Also butt head.
Yes, this is a complete deviation, but I kind of got embarrassed because I had some road rage and called someone a butt face, and somebody heard me.
Ooh.
You called who?
I was in a parking lot and I was waiting for them, and they go to not only like pull into the spot, to back in. And I'm like sitting there waiting, and I hate it when people back in when there's people waiting. And so he backs in, and I didn't realize my windows were down. And I said, "Don't back in, you butt face." And there was somebody walking into the store, and they heard me, and they just started laughing, and they looked at me, and I was like,
Road rage Lindsay.
just called someone a butt face.
You told them.
The person doing it didn't hear me, but random people did.
Maybe they told him in
Maybe
the store.
they told him, they were like, "Hey,
Did you hear this
she called you butt face."
Vulgar language you were just called.
I
Because my
cannot
kids
believe she
call
spoke to
me-
you like that.
They call each other butt face and think it's funny, and that was the word that came to my mind.
It's because it is funny.
Butt face.
It
Okay,
could be
sorry.
worse.
It could be worse. I could have cussed. I could have said something worse.
You could have. I've got another question.
Yes.
That-
or fact.
I've got my first question
Okay.
is, does Mike Wazowski wink or blink? This has been on my mind.
Wink.
He blinks.
And explain.
We did not answer your question.
It is one eye, therefore it winks.
See, I would say a wink is when one eye closes and the other stays open. Since he only has one eye, it's just a blink. Like a cyclops. They blink.
You said that so confidently. Do you know
I
for
do
a
not
fact
know.
that cyclops
No.
blink?
Because cyclops are not real. I do not know.
Well, Mike Wazowski is, and I need to know the answer.
What does your gut tell you?
Oh, it blew my mind.
You were the tiebreaker, so what do you think? Oh, she doesn't like being the tiebreaker.
No, my gut instinct says that he blinks, because I feel like if you have two eyes, then you can wink. If you have the one, you can blink. However, to Sarah's point, I did Google the definition of both of those things,
Oh my goodness.
and they both apply.
But I feel like blinking is an involuntary thing that we do, and winking is intentional, as evidenced by the fact that I cannot wink. He is not intentionally
What if I just have
winking.
something in one eye?
What if I'm just closing my eyes?
That's
What if my eye twitches?
winking.
It's a wink.
Okay, I
But I'm
twitching is not a wink.
I'm voluntarily closing my eyes.
You're blinking with both eyes. You're winking with both eyes.
Let me
It's called
wink.
going to sleep. I'm voluntarily closing both my eyes.
I'm going to wink both eyes now.
For 7 to 9 hours.
Jealous.
Thank you. And then the last thing is,
Yes.
what if the grass licked your feet when you stepped on it? Someone on the internet said I would do a split.
Whoa.
But I want to know what you guys would say.
No.
I,
Not a bad idea, but
What? No,
I would
it's a hard
practice
pass.
stretching.
why do people think of these things?
oh, that's something I would think of. Yeah.
What if the grass licked instead?
Well, and then, you know,
Oh,
to your
gosh.
point, Lindsay,
To my point, I haven't
that
made a
was your
point.
question. Okay. I think, why do people think of, I would do the splits?
No, I'm thinking. I got that. Thank you. I'm thinking, why are people like stepping outside in the grass and bare feet? And they go, "What if this was licking my feet instead?" Who? Why?
No,
How?
my immediate thought was absolutely not, because even the feeling of wet grass on my feet is horrible.
Lindsay, I want you to take a brief
I think it
step
would
inside
tickle.
my brain.
I think it would tickle the bottom of my feet. Your feet are super ticklish.
Yes, but even more so, it just feels disgusting.
Can you imagine just a bunch of tongues?
No. That's what I thought of. And I was like the blade of grass with a tongue.
No, I think that would be terrible and people would never go bare feet ever again. Can you imagine like having a picnic?
You'd have to blanket down.
But then the grass would just be like...
So then does that mean it has eyes?
That's when you do the no pants picnic.
No blanket, no pants.
I don't want to step inside your brain.
Yeah, somebody replied to them, every day we stray further from God's grace.
I would agree with that statement.
Turns out, yes.
And that is what our world is like today.
Okay, this is right around Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Just one thing. I give thanks.
Here's a fun fact about Thanksgiving.
Here's a fun fact. Jingle Bells was originally written as a Thanksgiving song.
Jingle bells.
Jingle all the way.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
Ooh, there's a turkey.
Okay, here's another one. Americans eat an estimated 50 million pumpkin pies on Thanksgiving.
Oh, I just have one slice.
I think it's a cumulative
50 million pies. Not one slice. 50 million pies.
Oh, I thought you said specifically pumpkin pies.
Pumpkin pies, yes. 50 million
Okay.
pumpkin pies.
It's a lot of pumpkin pies. How do you feel about pumpkin pie?
I love pumpkin pie.
And apparently you do too, you said.
Yeah, and I eat it strictly on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. We have pumpkin and pecan every Thanksgiving.
Oh my God. It's pecan.
No, it's pecan pie.
It's not.
It is.
not.
We do that, and sometimes we'll do an apple pie too, depending if we have a lot of people.
Fruit pies are absolutely
Apple
gross.
pie is American. You don't like even apple pie?
No, I don't like any pie
Any
with fruit.
pie?
Any fruit pies.
So what
Absolutely
pie
not.
do you like?
I like chocolate pie.
I do like chocolate pie.
Like a chocolate cream pie?
Yes. But I mean, here's the thing. I like side items the most. Bring me all the casseroles.
Yes.
All
Same.
the vegetables.
All the cast.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, what are you thankful for? I'm thankful for green bean casserole, hot buttered rolls with salted sweet cream butter, and you guys.
I am thankful for potatoes in all forms.
Yes. Me as well.
Family and you all.
I am thankful. I feel like I have to list a food. Honestly, my favorite casserole is a potato dish. So
I'm also thankful that Magic Mind is sponsoring this episode because I truly do enjoy their product and I'm so grateful for them.
you didn't let me say what else I was thankful for besides potatoes.
Just potatoes.
You guys are like
Casserole.
family and friends, and I'm like potatoes.
Honestly, that's it.
Casserole.
I look like an asshole.
All right, please finish.
Okay, family and friends, including you guys.
Thank
Obviously.
you.
Oh,
We made
thanks.
the list.
You know what I'm grateful for?
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful that Magic Mind is sponsoring this episode because I truly enjoy their product and how good it makes me feel.
Yeah, we've been using it for a while now. And what would you say are some of the benefits that you've seen?
I just feel like I'm more on top of things. It's a mental performance shot, and I 100% agree. And my mental performance is performing when I take this shot.
I like that I can take it with me to work and just add it to my daily routine of coffee because I'll never give that up.
Never.
And it's got some really fun ingredients, including ashwagandha, the it girl, matcha, and lion's mane mushroom.
Lion's mane mushroom is considered a superfood, and it's super cute.
Adorable.
It's also nice that it's like in a tiny shot form, so you don't have to sit there and drink gallons of some sort of supplement. You just take a little shot.
You guys are lucky because we have a one-time deal for those listening with a link that's only accessible through the episodes for November.
You can also cancel your subscription at any time to not get charged after 1 month.
You can try Magic Mind at magicmind.com/tipsyghostlt and with the code tipsyghostlt20. That's TIPSYGHOSTLT20. But act very, very fast because it's only good for the month of November.
Okay, who's ready to talk about our haunted investigation?
Me.
Me too.
Me. We did a re-investigation.
Yeah.
Call it repeatstigation.
it is.
There she is.
There she is. We went back somewhere that we have been before, but it has been about 2 years. We went June or July 2022, and that is Mineral Springs Hotel in Alton, Illinois.
Alton is one of our favorites, and thank goodness we chose to go back at this time. They will no longer be doing investigations anymore, at least for right now.
Literally, we showed up, and the guy, he did the same tour for us 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, this might be my last night. And we were like, what? We had no idea. So good timing on us that we got to go back. It was a happy accident. They are under new ownership, was my understanding. And so they may not be doing tours anymore because of the new ownership. TBD. But we went, like I said, about 2 years ago. It is episode 130 for those of you who want to go back and listen to our first experience there, but also you'll hear all of the history there. We're not going to recap the history too much in this episode. It's a public investigation. We're only there for about 5 hours. So it was kind of a short investigation when we were there originally, which is why we wanted to make a return.
I also feel like in this particular investigation, this time that we went, there were more people. And I feel like I heard him say it's because they want to get as many people through as they can before they stop doing investigations, which is totally fine. I support that. And I appreciate them being dedicated to getting people through. It does make things a little extra hard to gather evidence and kind of
be confident in the responses that we get.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is a very big place. I will say that.
Part of the reason why we wanted to go back, though, is because I know there is an upstairs that used to have some hotel rooms, and we didn't get to spend a lot of time up there the last time, so we were really kind of looking forward to going back up there. And this time it was completely closed down. I think our guide said the roof was leaking from some rain, etc. Who knows? But we couldn't go up there, so that one was off limits to us.
Yes. So the Mineral Springs Hotel, it's in Alton, Illinois, which is literally just on the other side of the Mississippi River from St. Louis. It's 10, 15 minutes outside St. Louis. So it was originally built in 1914, and it was supposed to be an ice warehouse, but they found healing mineral spring water there, which we have heard lots of things about this.
Yes.
So they instead made it into a hotel and spa with a bottling plant there. So this hotel, it's got these old hotel rooms, but it also goes, 4 levels underground? Mm-hmm. It's got quite a few basements that have pools that were completely underground. They do have some tenants and some shops that are in the hotel right now, but otherwise it's pretty much used for tours and investigations.
I think an event space too.
Yeah, and event space. Zach has been here with Ghost Adventures.
Which you know what that means. There's a portal somewhere.
There's a portal to hell.
Demons. There are demons confirmed.
So in its heyday, it was a hotel and spa, and it had 5 stories, and it was very popular. Obviously now it's not in use. There is no Mineral Springs well there still anymore, but you can still hear dripping water pretty much everywhere you go. So like I said, go to episode 130 and you will hear much more in-depth history about this place, as well as what happened the first time we were there. But we decided to go back for more.
Of course we did. After a brief tour with the guide, we split off from the group and we were able to go investigate on our own. And like Boydston mentioned, this was a large group, but it is a very large location as well. So we were able to spread out. But that being said, there's kind of some hot spots around the location that people really want to get into. So even though you're there, you might be there alone, but somebody else is probably going to be coming along the way.
Okay, so we started out in the kitchen, which is not actually a kitchen. It's this little area off of the ballroom. There's a fountain nearby. I think last time we were here, I heard some things over by the fountain. Mm-hmm. And so we came over here just because there was a group already in the ballroom. Basically, all the main and popular spaces were taken. And so we chose to just kind of go in an offshoot by the kitchen area. It's really just chairs and tables. And I feel like first we should mention that we did the tour again because it'd been a while since we'd been there. Yeah. And there was this sweet man.
Oh gosh.
It was the highlight of my night. He really was. He's not even elderly. He was just an older gentleman who was very hard of hearing.
I don't know his name. I just know his son was there and just kept saying, Dad.
And that's why we call him Dad.
Yeah.
He, on the tour, would just talk so loud. He thought he was whispering. I'm sure of it. I'm sure he thought he was whispering, but he was talking so loud. And then there was at one point where he just let out the biggest burp ever.
Mm-hmm. It was so loud. And it was at a point where we were all quiet for some reason.
His son was so embarrassed.
He was. He said, Dad, and the dad didn't say, excuse me, or I'm sorry. Nope, just burped for us all to hear. And I'm sure you can imagine, we were very mature about this, and we handled it like adults.
I was not. I thought it was the funniest thing
did not laugh at all.
I have ever heard in my life.
We all started laughing. We couldn't help it.
And so I say that because we kick off this first spot. We've already got the giggles, and it's because we've been around Dad. And so it starts off with chaos. Lindsay's setting up the ghost lights, and I say, that clanging you hear is Lindsay. She must be struggling. Thoughts and prayers. And then
they were tangled. And it was dark.
Sarah said, "You got this, Lindsay. At least she's trying. She's better than I am."
Oh, thank you.
And I said, "Yeah, she doesn't give up." And Sarah said, "That's rude."
I stand behind what I said.
I stand behind what I said.
Were the ghost lights fixed?
They were indeed not fixed.
They were, and then they unfixed themselves.
So we found out, if you've been listening to the past few investigations, that they just needed the batteries changed.
Therefore, they were red.
Yes.
And I found,
Constantly.
listen, I found that out by changing the batteries.
Yes. We
It's-
thought they were broken.
Yeah.
They were not.
I was mad, but then turns out you just have to change the batteries. It's in the instructions. If all the lights stay red, you must change the batteries. Anyway, I found that out by changing the batteries and put them back in the bag. And then Lindsay pulls them out and they're all red.
Yep. The batteries were
batteries.
instantly dead as soon as I turned it on there.
Yeah, so that was unfortunate.
Mm-hmm.
The theme of the night was somebody shining a light in my eyes. And I was getting so angry.
Not me and Sarah.
Strictly my eyes. It's probably because I'm closer to the ground. And someone shines a light in my eye again from another group. And I say, if literally one more person flashes their light in my eyes, I'm going to lose it. Full Brittany. And Sarah said, Sarah said, you're going to lose control.
Oh my God, I'm so witty.
You are. Anyway, so we figure out that the ghost lights are broken, and I know that to open up the case to change the batteries, we need a screwdriver. And so I ask for a screwdriver.
She acts like we just have a screwdriver in our purse.
Sarah's like, okay, are you trying to open something? And I said, yes, a screw.
Wow. Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you for helping.
I tried.
Fun fact, Sarah and I do not carry screwdrivers with us.
I don't. And it's a tiny
No.
screwdriver on
A
top of that.
teeny tiny. We tried keys.
I did. I was trying to be helpful.
I tried my thumbnail. Anyway, it didn't work. I'll fix it for next time.
Okay.
At some point, we turn the spirit box on and we get serious and we're trying to, get some interaction. And we're kind of going back and forth. There's some random things being spit out. And Sarah says, is anybody down here with us? And the answer on the spirit box, it says, a marriage. So Sarah repeats that, a marriage. And then there's this pause. And during this pause, I hear a highly sexual moan. That I do not believe was any of us. And it was pretty close to the recorder. So like I said, we're in a different area, but in the same vicinity of where other people are. So you can hear people in the background constantly. I don't remember anybody coming up to our recorder and moaning.
Fun fact,
I don't think so.
I set that recorder up and it was on the table that we were not sitting by.
Yeah. So, and then
Interesting.
after the highly sexual moan, Lindsay comes in and says, marriage.
Little Princess Bride reference for y'all.
Yeah.
Marriage.
Marriage. You're just looking at it and going to the full thing. And I just said one word. You're welcome.
That's basically it. Besides that moan, I did not catch anything else.
And we weren't there very long.
No, we were
15,
not.
20 minutes probably.
I do appreciate that they have a new way to get to the basements.
Yes, there's a back way.
Yes.
There's mini stairs. Like we said, lots of levels underground. There's mini stairs.
Yeah. So the next place that we went to was a men's swimming pool. Men only, although we invaded.
Yes. And in case it's not clear because this is no longer in use, it is like an empty pool full of trash, basically.
And a stroller.
Yeah, and a high chair. There's a bunch of random things in there.
You can walk down a plank to
You
get into the
can
pool.
Walk a sketchy plank.
And last
Terrifying.
time we were there, I went down there by myself, walked the plank. And this time all three of us walked the plank down.
We did.
I thought it was going to crumble. I was very concerned about my safety. And then I sat in the stroller.
You did. And I tried to push you in the stroller.
It went great. I'm so glad I got that on video. So glad we all
That
did.
stroller was deeply embedded into the mud.
That is hurtful.
Check out our social medias if you're very
Okay.
confused.
Let me rephrase that. It was deeply embedded before you sat into the stroller.
My favorite part was I was so ready to go. I shot my
You
hands up
thought
like
you
a
did.
we
roller
were going to
coaster.
take off.
Flung them up. And I really tried.
She did
I
not.
was really putting my back into it. And
You can do it.
And you can just hear me laughing in the background going, you guys are doing great.
I
This
got
is great.
nowhere. Meanwhile, people are coming in down the plank and watching this whole thing happen.
It was great.
At one point, about 15 minutes in, to nobody's surprise, we are laughing. And I hear a whistle in the background.
Which there have been reports of. There's another pool that is the all-inclusive pool, aka for everyone. And there are reports of whistling there.
Oh, I actually did not know that.
Like where William is, there are reports of whistling.
Well, somebody was whistling at this pool. We separate a little bit. I go sit by the high chair. Boydston, you say that you see something lighting up behind me that you cannot debunk. It was behind my head. And you also say that you heard a man's voice, very faint, come from behind me. But I could not hear it.
That's too bad.
I know.
So after that, we went to the main pool, which is the all-inclusive pool. And this is at 23:25 is the time. And we were there by ourselves. It is the much bigger pool. If you listen to our first episode, you will hear there are reports of like a man shadow figure that is standing outside of the pool watching. And there is one reported drowning in this pool. The pool is obviously empty. There are chairs down there. We go down the ladder into the chairs. We're sitting in the chairs. We're setting things up. And I said on the recording that while we were getting things set up, a ball rolled around while we were doing this.
Ooh.
We were not anywhere near the ball. Do you guys remember that? We were in the deep end. The chairs are in the deep end, so it's not like sloped at that point because we're already in the deep end.
Yeah.
And they had a ball set up and it was already rolling around. 4 minutes in, I hear a tap behind me. We all called it out and heard it. And from where I'm sitting behind me would be where that shadow figure man has been seen in the past. Sarah said that she felt like someone was behind her, but then she said it was when we were down there touring earlier.
Yeah.
Yes. What happened when we were touring and we were with big group in that area? Do you remember?
Yeah. So we were standing up above the pool on the deep end, and there was a couple of pieces of wood behind us. Nobody was standing there. And the guide was talking, explaining some things. And I hear a whisper say, "No, ma'am," in my ear. That creeped me out.
And so you started talking when you were down there about how you were feeling this presence as well behind you. And I was like, right now? And you're like, no, earlier when I heard the "no, ma'am."
Yeah, it was creepy.
And then about 10 minutes in, I hear a bang that is behind us. We were the only ones in the pool. There is like on a backspace, whatever you want to call Williams area behind us. I don't think there was anyone back there when we were in the pool though. So we called out that bang.
Yeah, we did.
So my next recording is at 23:40. And this is right after we were at the pool. We decided to go back to what we call Williams space. And this is like, I mean, it's just crawl space almost, but not. So it is like unfinished space in the basement that is like basically dirt floors and just junk laying around. And it is called Williams area because there is a spirit back there named William who does not like women and does not like music. But as we were walking back from the pool to Williams area, Sarah had an experience.
I did. I said, I'm in a creepy hallway and I'm nervous about it. And it took me a minute, but I figured it out. I'm in the back hallway behind the pool.
You said you heard a whisper as we were walking to William.
Yeah, I said I heard whispers in my ears when I was walking over earlier, but I didn't elaborate what they were saying this time.
Yes, so we were going like single file line, and I already had my recorder going. I don't know why. And you were last in line, and you said, "I'm hearing whispering behind me." And so Sarah and I, we were like, okay, what's going on? And Boydston and I, being good friends, said, why don't you stay here?
You
and
did.
We're going to go on without you.
Yeah, you did. And I stayed there.
You did.
I was very brave.
You were brave. You did great.
I did say on my recorder I was a little nervous because it was really dark. There's junk everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea where you guys were, and I had just heard whispers, but I did it. About 7 minutes in, there's a bell, like a bellhop. Boydston kept saying, "It's a bellhop." Or an elevator. This is the second time I had heard it, and it turns out as it goes on, this bell ringing happens several times. We eventually find out after some investigative work that a group that is now in the pool is using some type of tool, and they put it on the shallow end that goes off on its own and makes that bell noise.
Mm-hmm. I went to investigate because we kept repeatedly hearing it, thinking it was like a bellhop, like an elevator bell, something, and found this group. And I said, "Are you guys hearing a bell?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's our device." And I can see the device in the shallow end. And they're like, "We're not touching it. It just keeps going off."
Yeah.
I don't know what device they were using. I've never heard of a bellhop sounding device for...
I don't know if they could choose that noise. Like it's, you know what I mean?
Sure. Kind of debunked because we know it was a device that was making that noise, but also that device was making the noise on its own. But I don't know what equipment it was, so I can't really...
So about 9 minutes in, I joined back up with you guys, and Lindsay says, I know you're not... I think you're talking to William. I know you're not fond of women.
Yes, I kept trying to provoke him by saying, like, there's a lot of women here. I know you don't like women. And then I would say, I know you don't like music. And I would start singing, so...
Apparently, I caught a very quiet no. Okay, after this, Boydston, you tell us that you fell out of a chair, and then you kept saying, it leaned back, and now it won't sit up. And I kept going, you fell out of a chair, and you go, I didn't fall out. I am telling you.
I put... The chair tried to dump Sarah out.
Okay, so all around this place, there's like these old car seats, like the bench car seats.
Like actual car seats, not like kid car seats, but
Yeah.
actual seats that go in the car.
Like from an old Volkswagen.
benches.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I was sitting in one, and then I don't remember exactly, but I just know it changed positions on me, and so I moved seats, and then it would no longer, I don't know, it was just doing some weird things.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I would have written down details, but I did not.
You
That's all I heard.
moved, and you said the chair tried to dump you out, and I said, William, did you try to tip Boydston over? And that was pretty much it. Like, you said that you tried to go sit back in it, but it was, like, reclined too far back. You couldn't get it to its original position.
Right.
Other people came and joined us halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And they were also women, so we were, again, trying to antagonize. I say that gently. We were just like, oh, more women.
She kept going,
William. So they were talking to us about during the tour, and they're like, did you hear a crashing sound? And we were like, no. But my friend, she heard no ma'am. And they said that when we were all in the space where William's, space is during the tour, they all heard a crashing sound in the pool area, and multiple people heard it, and they tried to investigate and couldn't find anything.
That's weird.
I didn't hear anything, and we didn't have a recording going during the tour because we had already heard the tour.
Mm-hmm.
But they, kept talking about it. They're like, no, it was a very loud crashing sound. Whoever led it, even went and tried to debunk it and couldn't. I said the whole recording is essentially us asking Sarah, did you hear the bell?
Yeah, literally.
What about now? Did you hear that one?
I kept telling you, I'm not going to hear it.
And she's going, I heard nothing.
I literally heard nothing. I finally heard it once at the end, and everybody's like, yay!
It was a success.
Celebrate.
I was impressed with how big the other group who came and joined us, their cat balls were ginormous. They were huge.
And what did you say?
I said, Boydston, look at how big their balls are.
Wow. They do have big balls.
And then they said, I like these guys. We're like, thank you.
Thank you.
And Boydston said, quote, impressive ball size.
It was impressive, though.
How could they not like us?
I heard a ding at one point, and again, I was calling out that I heard a ding, and you guys were sitting, because I was in the corner at this point by myself with the recorder. You guys said that you heard movement behind you at that same time.
Wow.
I heard, some shuffling, but yes.
Okay.
We went down to what Zach refers to as the portal.
This is the bottling area.
The bottling area.
Yeah.
And it is a giant room that is literally pitch black. You turn off all the lights and you cannot see anything.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty creepy, actually.
It is creepy. So Boydston had one recorder with us while we were in there. I put my recorder just outside of the room just so we could have something different. I got absolutely nothing. I said into the recording as I started, you're going to hear lots of car noises, because I could hear it.
Yeah.
And that's all I got was car noises.
Okay.
Okay. So here I come in, clutch. I am holding it the whole time.
Nice job.
And it's on our very sensitive recorder.
Oh, no.
So you can hear anytime I breathe. I think at some point you can hear my heartbeat. You can hear my stomach growl, and then I move, and I think it's a great idea to put my mouth directly on the receptors.
Yes. No, I've done that before, too.
I have learned with
And
that
it's
recorder.
so distorted. And yeah, turns out I didn't need to do that. And so at some point, so there was a gentleman and a lady in there when we walked in, and we were trying to be quiet. And then when we walked out, Lindsay asked me, was she crying? And I said, I don't know. And Lindsay's like, I think he was comforting her.
He was.
And then Sarah goes, she hated me.
So it was the lady we ran into in the
Typical.
bathroom.
So they leave, and then Sarah asks for a cat toy, and I say, sure, here are some balls.
Not the balls again.
We start asking questions. Sarah says, is there anybody in here that wants to say hello? And I say, your mom.
Again, that is some high-class humor.
We hear some water dripping, and Lindsay says, she calls out the water and says, for your FYI. So that was fun. So it just basically cancels out both those information.
Information, water is
Listen,
dripping.
This was the end of the night. I was
And
probably
then
tired.
it was at the very end. And then at some point I heard movement in one of the corners. I did hear it sounded like a small rock being thrown. And we were really good about calling out if we were moving, because those concrete floors, you can hear everything. But we were doing very well at not moving and calling out when we did. And above that, I heard that movement and then the rock being thrown. That's what I got in there.
And just a disclaimer, we say, Zach calls it to the portal to hell. The people who run these investigations dispute that. They said there's never been anything malicious, no portal to hell that they can think of, nothing like that.
Right. Be cool if it was. I don't think it is.
So again, I feel like we had a pretty similar experience the last time we were there. Public investigation is hard to get a lot of evidence of, and it's such a massive space to really only do in 3-4 hours because the tour takes up time.
Yep.
And probably our last time.
Probably our last time, which I'm glad we got to experience it.
Yeah.
There's been a few places now that no longer do investigations that I'm glad that we were able to get into, and Mineral Springs is one of it.
Yeah. I'm glad we got to go back.
I'm not going to ask for a rating this time because I think with public it's too hard.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I did enjoy myself, though.
It was a fun time.
It was fun. It is a very cool place. I'm a little sad that they're not going to be doing investigations just because there's so much history there.
Yeah.
But anyways, thanks so much, guys, for tuning in this week to our haunted investigation of Mineral Springs. You can always find us at thetipsyghost.com with our socials linked from there, or send us an email at thetipsyghost@gmail.com.
Please give us a 5-star rating and a great review anywhere you listen to podcasts. We really appreciate it, and it really does help.
All right, guys, thanks so much. We'll catch you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.